Hello, right, this was going to be the first video of the year, but things happened. Right, it's more simple than it actually looks. One of the reasons it looks a little bit more complicated was I used tracing paper instead of parchment paper. I did try and find some parchment paper, but it's mega expensive. Um, right, what I've done is I've got leafy sort of die cuts and a couple of trimmy sort of die cuts. You'll see them. The first ones that were sticking on were the trimmy ones. These are leafy ones, obviously. And I'm bunching them up to look like forest flory thing. And I've put some leafy ones down the bottom and the trimmy ones up at the top. And I've got it on a cutting mat because it's got lines so you can see through the tracing stroke parchment paper and keep straight with your lines. Now, if I was using parchment paper, I would only use one layer, but because I'm using tracing paper, I'm using two layers. This is where the a bit more complicated than it looks comes in. Because I'm using two layers, I stuck it on the inside of one layer, on the outside of the same layer, and then put a layer on the top, if you know what I mean. This that you can see now is the inside layer. I cut a sheet of paper, the bottom off, in a slight hummock shape and shredded it on the ends to make it look like grass. Now, I stamped a fairy out and I didn't like the wings that she came with, so I stamped another pair of wings on tracing paper and chopped them in half. You know, it was a butterfly, chopped it in half and coloured the back side of one of the wings in. I went over the lines. So one of them is very dark and the other one isn't because it's only stamped on one side. This fairy, as I say, I stamped it out in black and cut a hummock that she stood on and then painted the back side of it after cutting it out. When I stick the wings on, that's not a die cut, that was something that a free cut to see what that would look like. It's bulrushes. Why do I shout when I manage to find the name that I need? These are little butterflies and I bend up the wings and glue just the body to the paper, so when it's bent the wings are standing away and they don't look like they're pressed up against a window. They look like they're actually flying with some depth to them because the wings come away from the paper and throw a shadow, so they look like they're slightly to the side and flying at different angles. Now, the wings, the one that's going to go to the outside is the darkest one, and I glued it on all over and glued it flat to the paper. That's the one that I'm doing now. When I get my fiddly little hands right, I had glue on my fingertips and I didn't want any of the glue to get on where I didn't want it. And this one, I'm just gluing it there and then I'm curving it in towards the paper. I know that sounds wrong, but it puts a gap between them which allows light to enter between them, so they look like they're pointing in different directions when you sort of look at it in the way that you do. Now, because it's got that grass on the inside and the die cut leaves on the outside, the die cut leaves, the brownie looking ones, are very, very, there we go, look at that, oh, they're pretty. Sorry, the brownie looking ones are cooking paper. It's not grease proof, it's not been greased, it's like tracing paper, but it's just so old it's turned a bit browny coloured. And here what I'm doing is I'm holding, well, you could see what I was doing. I was holding part of it down, lifting part of it up and using the bone folder against my cutting mat to make it go rounded, because you've got a stiffish paper glued to a not stiffish paper, and you need to make it go roundy without any, can you see them marks, well, the kinks. The more you do it, the less kinks you get. Here I've got, I think, 3 pieces of corrugated cardboard, and I've stacked them up on top of each other for that round bit. That's going to be part of the base, and that I'm just trying to cut it so when it goes over on itself it looks like it follows through, so there's not a big straight line. These are, I think, 2 oval pieces of cardboard that I've glued together, and now I'm putting a paper trim round the outside. It's just a piece of recycled brown paper, either McDonald's bag or internal cat litter bag. Well, it is, it's just brown paper, very rustic brown paper. Putting a strip round the outer edge, easing it in with my hands, and then I cut little V's out of it, little dot. Oh, sorry, I do a piece of cream paper to match the die cuts that's on the outside. That's going to go over the top. I just wanted to get it before I coated everything with glue, and then I go back to the bottom bit and cut little darts out of it, and then fold the edges over and glue them down. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, just little V's, and then do it to the other side as well. Yeah, apart from the bulrushes, it's only stamping and die cuts, and some of the butterflies actually came from God, she hasn't uploaded for ages, Crafty Samarita. No, she has actually. She's been doing some cooking videos. Go and have a look at her cooking videos. I think she did some rice the other day. Yeah, I'm doing the same to the fairy, just easing around with the bone folder against the mat a little bit there that weren't stuck down. If you get any glue going over, if you use the same glue as that, pencil eraser gets it off. There, I'm rolling it up. I think I put a bulldog clip on it, little miniature bulldog clip, just to hold it in place for a bit, and just let it get used to being in that position. Oh, I prop it up with glue pot. Now I've put the round piece of cardboard on top of the oval further back, so I get, you know, space for flowers, pardon me. A plinth. We get a plinth, do it? Oh, we get a plinth. Now I'm gluing it in. I was totally ab-libbing. This is the first one I've made, so that's why it's a bit... Oh, if you put a ruler inside, you've got something to press against when you go up your seam. A ruler or your bone folder or something just inside. It just supports it while you press up. Yeah, as I said, oh, and I stuck a pin in the bottom as well, just until it had tacked. As I said, this was the first one that I've made. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just playing around, but it's pretty, isn't it? It really is pretty. But it's just die cuts and stamping. That's all it is, you know, apart from that bulrush thing. You don't, you know, need to put anything other than stamping and die cuts in, really. Oh, and the grass, yeah, I cut the grass myself as well, but it's just snippety up and down. Snippety. Right, yeah, I'm putting a line of glue on the inside at the top and the bottom, and using little bulldog clippy things. Are they bulldog clips? Yeah. To hold it together. You could use air clips or anything, you know, just something that'll hold it. Right, the flowers, I'm going around the edges of the leaves in brown, and then a tiny little bit of black on the browns, and on the cream ones just brown. And I'm doming the back of the petals, flipping the flower over, and then doming the centre to make it poofy. Poofy? Bouncy. Bouncy. More full. Bouffant? Or is that just hair?
What's hair?
Hair.
Oh.
On your head. Hair on your head. Right, and then stacking and gluing them. Again, it's just typing paper. What do you call it? Typing weight paper? Copy paper. It's a cream paper. And whatever brown paper it is. And then I think I used little half pearly things. Yeah, them things, the little half pearly things. They're gorgeous little things. They've got like a metallic pearl to them in the centres, and then I just go down the centre where the vein would be with a very small ball, just to dent it, to give it some shape. Dab a little bit of glue on, raz it in and stick it down basically, and do a show me bending one at flowers. Yeah, they are. When the flower's more or less set with the glue, I sort of pinch it between my fingers, and then it goes into that right angle of the upsy downsy bit of the tube and the bottom bit, the plinth. And these are some very cheap lights that I got off eBay. I think I got them on auction for it was under 50p, and batteries came included. There's some soft white, I think they call it soft white, and I think some blue ones that mixed up pictures of with the lights inside. I think you put them both in on one, didn't you? Yeah, that's the blue one. She's got lights. Right, I hope you like it. Please give it a thumbs up, share it for me. Yeah, you can see her other wing there, how different the wings look, because I didn't. One was a lot darker than the other. One was, you know, technically stamped on both sides, stamped and drawn on one side. It really does make a difference, and you can see on the butterflies they look at different angles as well. So please, if you can, share it somewhere. It really does help my channel with me not being able to do things like that myself. Give me a thumbs up, tell me what you think. There's more to come. I've had different ideas about these kind of lanterns. She's so pretty. I really like that stamp. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new, subscribe, take a look through my other videos and my playlists, and enjoy. Alright, how much longer is there? Oh, that's a really good coloured one. I think that's my favourite picture, that. It is a lovely stamp. You can see the different weights of the paper as well in the leaves at the bottom. That's why I used the baking parchment, baking paper, and the typing weight paper. It gives more depth to it and definitely makes a difference. Right, I think that's about it now, isn't it? It is, yeah. Bye. Sorry it were a bit garbled again.